Hey guys, so I recently not really recently anymore, I guess, because the longer that I prolong recording this, the less recent it's become. So at one point in my life, I did watch Squid Game Season 2, and I really did feel compelled to leave a review about it. But, I'm working a corporate job currently, and in honor of that, I decided that I would really like to leave thorough but brief analysis of what I thought of this season. So I've developed an extremely professional and groundbreaking method in order to go about evaluating this. Enough yapping, let's get to it. So overall, I found this season to be extremely mediocre. So why? Why do I think it's mediocre? So let's go ahead and let's start with M. So M is for mime, and mime, mime's mimic. This season felt like an imitation of the last season. One thing that I was excited about when I watched the first episode of season of Squid Games was that I was surprised. I thought it was just going to focus heavily on the games, which I thought were intense enough, but no, they actually had a really good plot going. 456, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name right now. He had really nice storyline, as well as the detective, but in season 2, we really had so much less storyline. It really did end up just kind of being the exact same thing. He goes to the games, he plays, honestly, even the first game was the exact same. All the exact characters show up again, like it's the same crew from last time with different names, right? We got the parent kid duo, we have the best friend of the main character, we have 001 literally being the freaking antagonist all over again. We have like the mean girl, the crazy girl. Was there a mean girl? Maybe not. It was a crazy girl. We have like the bullies. We have just all the same archetypes, arguably less likable because we like them less, although I did like Thanos, but honestly it was just a kind of a rehash of season 1. E is for episodes 1 and 2, the strongest episodes of the season. Those two really kind of set up what I thought was some really interesting plot lines that they could have gone with. Season 1 really set up the looking for the recruiter really well, and then when they ended up finding him in the first episode, I was like, man, dude, they're not gonna drag anything. They're gonna resolve stuff quickly, and just because they have so much to tell. So that's what I was really excited about, and I really did enjoy the whole stuff with the recruiter. Everyone, liked his acting and all that shit. I don't know anything about good acting or not. I enjoyed it. Detective stuff was really good too, him searching for the island, getting on the boat, it was interesting at first, right? But it was after episode 2 where basically any kind of moving forward with those kind of plots just kind of fell off a cliff. So it really, like I said, just kind of became him being in the games, and all these kind of side stories just took less and less and less prevalence throughout the season, to the point where even the detective was just kind of, I think in the last episode, he just was there for, I think, one scene. I don't even actually think we saw his face. He might have honestly not even got paid for that episode because he wasn't even there, was he? But that's my point. I think that they'd set up really good plots that they just did not explore anymore, and it was just them being in the games. D is for how dumb player 456 was, and it was frustrating. And I want to believe, okay, that he was a guy who was down on his luck, maybe doesn't have a good education, maybe he's even borderline homeless or something. He's just not the brightest guy in the block, so that's the reason why he was really dumb. But I don't know, man. It's nice to have a dumb protagonist in a funny TV show like South Park or SpongeBob, but I guess when it's something serious like this, it's really frustrating for the guy to just be dumb as bricks, because he had all the worst ideas, right? I would have argued his plan for looking for the recruiters bad, but I don't have great arguments against it. It worked to an extent after 2 years and tons of money, whatever. But afterwards, he didn't have any plans otherwise. He was like, I'm gonna just chip myself and it's gonna work and I'm gonna get in the game and everything's gonna be solved. And he never for a second thought what if that doesn't work out, which it didn't work out, right? So here I am, and I guess all I can do now is once again have a 1 in 456 chance, whatever that is, of surviving again, on top of the fact that I already did this. So that's really his plan now, that he's just gonna live through the games again. Well, I guess, okay, I know his plan was to try and turn everybody to, vote together and leave, but he was just really unconvincing, right? He was really mute a lot. He was really quiet in important moments. You know, when it came time for him to try and like explain himself, right? Like how he's played these games before. He didn't really do a good job there. Like, for example, he was predicting what the next game would be, right? That was also a mess. He got it wrong, and like, people got mad at him, and he just kind of like shut up instead of being like, guys, it really was that. Like, instead of trying to defend himself, you know? And then finally, his ultimate plan at the end was just crazy, right? It was so stupid. He like this whole time he was like, nobody needs to die anymore. We all need to live. And then just out of nowhere, he's like okay with sacrificing, not even the bad guys, but the people that want to leave. He's like, yeah, man, some of them are gonna have to die tonight, just out of nowhere, so that they could go with like a, once again, 1 in a million chance of his plan working, right? Of just killing all the guards on their island and going into the VIPs as if like he could actually pull it off. And eyes were intense. This is, I think, a strong part. I thought that it was really intense. I think that's what kept me engaged, right? I didn't think this was a bad season just because I was really engaged by the intensity of the games and the intensity of even like stupid things like the voting, right? So the games, I think, is one of the strongest parts of Squid Games. Like, they're very unique and interesting, and they really do a great job of like just increasing the intensity and making you feel like stressed out, right? I have like a love-hate relationship with the voting. There was too much voting, I guess. At one point, it was like episode 5 of the season. They were voting for like the 4th time, and we already knew how it was gonna turn out. And I was like, dude, there's only like 20 minutes left in this episode. There's two episodes left. Like, how is anything gonna get resolved in this season? And I mean, I was right, I guess, like, and I'll get to that later. But they drew out these voting scenes, but the intensity of the voting scenes were interesting enough that for some reason I didn't hate it. I was just like, I wish there was, I guess, more episodes that I wouldn't feel like this was such a waste of time. Oh, it was for 001 or 001. So I'll start by saying I think he was one of my favorite characters in the season. I liked watching him really get into like being one of the players, and like it was so funny, like watch him like cheer with everybody else when like they survived. Like, you started to think like, I never for a moment like thought he was having a heart, because I knew that they wouldn't just like have him find his humanity all of a sudden when he's gone like what 60 or 70 years without it, right? It doesn't make sense. But it's fun to watch him act kind of like he cared. In the end, he was a terrible person, and I think like this once again is one of the things that bothered me, is that 456 never suspected anything of 001, which is really honestly just embarrassing. Like, he has played the games before. 001 was literally undercover last time, and like 001, he's like not even too subtle, right? He like, I think he approaches 456 first. He like is always trying to talk to him, and he's always kind of like questioning him, and I was thinking maybe he was like keeping it to himself, right? Like he was just trying to like keep it on the down low or something. But no, dude, in the last episode he gave him a gun and he turned his back to him. Like, might as well just ask him to shoot you in the back, right? I just think he didn't know, and I still think he doesn't know. So R is for my biggest issue with the season. Nothing is resolved. R for resolved. There's like 2 plot lines that I was really interested in. 001 and you know, obviously like when is he gonna get discovered? And then the captain, actually. Shit, I just realized. I skipped C, didn't I? But anyway, the whole stuff with the detective, right? They're going on like these boating expeditions. Like I said, it started interesting, but like every episode it was the exact same thing, right? They go on this boating expedition, they get absolutely nowhere freaking near, like make zero progress. In fact, it's like they're making negative progress every single time. Just like, it's frustrating because it's like, come on, man, like there's somebody ratting you out. Like, think for a second, like somebody knows. They can't just know everything like this. Somebody is giving something away, and the captain acts a little bit suspicious. I'm not asking for everyone to be bright, but sometimes like when you are telling a story that's supposed to be interesting, like you gotta give us something. Almost zero progress was made on the captain's identity the entire season. Right at the end, we finally confirmed that he's in on the Squid Games, right? But nobody on the boat finds out. I think you could genuinely skip this season and watch the next season, and all you have to know is that the captain is a bad guy, but honestly I'd argue maybe you don't even need to know, because that's something that they're probably going to find out in the next season. Same with 001. Nobody ended up making any progress on his identity. The only guy that questioned it for like 1 minute in the entire 7 hours that this season was a thing got killed. Maybe 001 might come back as a player, and it doesn't fucking matter what happened before because no progress was made on identifying him. Or maybe he's just not a player, and it's like, who cares? Like, that whole time he was a player, nobody knew, so it's like, doesn't even matter. And finally, E is for that's for everything I have to say.